everything. And there's a social conscience with Jessica.
We're flat broke, Gil. That's what we're talking about.
I know what we're talking about. You don't think I don't goddamn know what we're talking about?
Well, I don't hear you say you're gonna fight it.
In 1984, Lange produced and starred with Shepard in Country, the story of a family fighting to hold on to their land.
All I have to do is get a court order to have your machinery transported to another county for a legitimate auction. And that's exactly what we're going to do, Mrs. Ivy.
Mister, you can take our equipment. Tomorrow you can come out here and you can haul off all our stock. But when you come out to pull us off this land, you better come with more than a piece of paper. Because we're staying! We're staying right here!
Country drew admiring reviews and earned Jessica her third Oscar nomination. The following year, she was up for Best Actress again for her performance as country singer Patsy Cline in Sweet Dreams. Although Jessica went home empty-handed, she remained one of the most sought-after actresses in Hollywood. Lange was still committed to playing challenging roles, particularly in projects that would allow her to work with Sam. In 1986, she starred opposite him in Crimes of the Heart, and 2 years later appeared in his directorial debut, Far North, featuring Charles Durning.
They're both professionals, and they're both very determined, and they're both very, I wouldn't say stubborn, but they know what they want. And it's delightful to watch. A little scary, but sometimes, because they would get heated. Only about what the work was, nothing about anything else.
By 1988, Jessica and Sam were living on a horse farm in Virginia with Shura, their 2-year-old daughter Hannah, and infant son Samuel Walker. The unconventional 39-year-old saw no need for a marriage license, although she was a very traditional mother.
Her children have always come first. As much as she loves being an actress, she loves being a mother more. She wanted her children to be near the rivers and the hiking and the canoeing and just the great outdoors.
Jessica and the kids also enjoyed spending time with her parents in Minnesota. But during one of these stays, her father Al suffered a stroke and died a few weeks later. Over the years, Jessica had grown closer to her dad and was hit hard by the loss of the man who had instilled in her his own desire to get the most out of life.
It was very hard on her when her father died. He was such a big part of her life. Early on in her career, so many of her performances were to prove to her father that she could do it. She pushed to get to that mark of achievement that he set. She was always proud to make him proud.
During the early 1990s, Lange continued to win accolades for her work in such films as Men Don't Leave and Music Box, which earned her a 5th Academy Award nomination. She was most excited, however, by a starring role in Blue Sky, a semi-autobiographical film written by Rama Stagner. Jessica starred opposite Tommy Lee Jones and Powers Booth, playing a sexy but emotionally unstable army wife whose longing for glamour and excitement almost destroys her family.
God, don't.
Carly, cut it out. You're a big girl. This is not the end of the world.
No, it's just the same goddamn world that we had in Washington, only it's worse. Look, everything that was on the right, on the left, right and left, and right and left, and right and left.
I sometimes feel like she just channeled my mother. She brought something extra. She brought herself because she's so incredibly, sexy and so dynamic.
This gal's a real dynamo, Major. If you harness her energy, we won't need reactors.
I've never worked with any actor that was more prepared, more giving, and more willing to explore the work than Jessica Lange.
Carly in Blue Sky was very self-obsessive, not a great mother, terrible wife. And somehow she's redemptive, the way Jessica plays her. You forgive her all these things.
Jessica was extremely proud of her work in Blue Sky. But the film's distributor, Orion Pictures, fell into bankruptcy before the movie could be released, and it was shelved indefinitely.
She was devastated because it was such a great performance. You know, imagine doing all that work, tremendous work, and for it not to be seen is the biggest travesty.
Lange did reach a wide audience when she took a supporting role in Martin Scorsese's highly successful thriller Cape Fear, starring Nick Nolte and Robert De Niro. She re-teamed with De Niro in the gritty urban drama Night in the City, playing a tough bar owner with a soft spot for a lovable loser.
You shouldn't bolt your drink, Harry.
What are you, my mother?
Not yours.
Jessica told me that when she came to New York, she worked at night as a barmaid in the neighborhood that we were shooting. And she knew the character in and out because the owner's wife in the bar she worked in was very, very similar to the character of Helen in our scripts. She just nailed that character.
Come on out with me. Come on. Lay low. Boom boom cool out. You need to buy some time, Harry.
I'm so tired of running, Helen.
Stop. Give me a kiss.
Up to now, Jessica had always had her pick of choice leading roles, but at the age of 41, she realized it would become increasingly difficult for her to be selective.
There's a double standard of aging in Hollywood. Men go on and on, but traditionally women have not even been able to play past 35 or 40. I think Jessica Lange has suffered like all women in Hollywood.
Once you're 40 or so in Hollywood, you're just something that just crawled out from under a garbage can. That to an intelligent, thinking woman, actress, that would be a tough pill to swallow.
In 1993, 44-year-old Jessica Lange was uninspired by the film part she was being offered and started to look for challenges elsewhere. She made her Broadway debut as the aging Southern belle Blanche Dubois in a revival of Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire, opposite Alec Baldwin and John Goodman. Making the jump from screen to stage proved difficult for Jessica, who struggled to learn the art of projecting her naturally soft and breathy voice. Lange was disappointed when New York reviewers panned her performance, though the harsh critiques only spurred her on. She continued to learn and improve, playing to packed houses for 137 performances.
This is how Jessica starts out everything. She's always an uphill climber. As opposed to letting the critics crumble you, she got that old Minnesota resolve going again and just marched on. And she found a way to make the character work.
In 1994, Jessica received news that the nearly forgotten film, Blue Sky, was scheduled for a small, unheralded release. She hoped the movie might find an audience, but never expected what would happen next. Blue Sky was enthusiastically embraced by critics who praised Jessica's performance as fierce and gripping. That year, she received her 6th Oscar nomination.
And the Oscar goes to Jessica Lange in Blue Sky.
Oh, I want to thank the Academy so much. This is such a wonderful honor, especially for a little film that seemed to have no future, and it's just such a great honor. I want to thank Orion Films, past and present, and last of all to my 3 children who make all of this possible with their love and patience. So thank you very, very much.
That was the grand prize. I mean, she loved having a Best Supporting Oscar, but she really wanted the one for Best Actress. When she won, I think she could breathe a sigh of relief.
Over the next several years, Lange continued to star in a series of films that allowed her to portray strong women, but her acting career was not her first concern. In 1996, the health of Jessica's 83-year-old mother began to fail. Jessica and her family moved full-time to a farmhouse outside of St. Paul, Minnesota, where she cared for her mother until her death in 1998.
She was extremely sad, and she took a long time off. She spent just hours upon hours every day working in the garden, and I think that helped her a lot. But she's an actress, you know. The urge comes back again, and she wants to do something.
Although still grieving, Jessica was ready to get back to work. She returned to the screen as a plain and vengeful French spinster in a film adaptation of Honoré de Balzac's classic novel, Cousin Bette.
Promise me you'll take care of them, Bet.
I promise I'll take care of them. I'll take care of them all.
It's always surprising to see an American actress do number one, period, and number two, a quintessentially French role. She played this smart, embittered old woman very creditably.
How will I recognize you when I stumble over you in the park? Your black velvet choker, I think.
In 1999, the 50-year-old proved she could still turn heads when she played a sexy but savage barbarian queen in Titus, a screen version of Shakespeare's play. After tackling Shakespeare, Jessica ventured back onto the stage to play Mary Tyrone in a London revival of Eugene O'Neill's Long Day's Journey into Night.
The image that I had of Jessica Lange before I met her was just kind of that of a talented, beautiful movie legend. Kind of, I guess, everybody's image of Jessica Lange. And then I met her and thought, wow, she's really a beautiful, talented movie legend.
Jessica received rave reviews and was nominated for an Olivier Award, the British equivalent of a Tony. But after a 5-month run, she was impatient to get home to her family.
When the play ended, she said, I don't want to do anything for a year. I just want to go home and make sandwiches for the kids and be a mom.
Jessica Lange's greatest joy comes from her 3 children and a union with Sam Shepard that is still going strong after nearly 2 decades.
I think she feels married, and she doesn't need a piece of paper to tell her she is. Jessica is definitely a bit of a rebel and likes to do things her way.
Jessica's determination to keep her priorities straight has paid off in a deeply satisfying personal life and a successful 25-year career. Her dedication to honestly portraying a wide variety of complex women on screen has earned her 2 Oscars, the respect of her peers, and made a lasting impression on audiences worldwide.
She's not just a movie star. You know, she's a real actress and constantly wants to be challenged and do interesting work.
She can't be easily defined. We haven't been able to pigeonhole her in one place or the other. She's been both sexy and serious.
She's a master craftsman. Whatever she does well. If she's a mother, she's a great mother. And if she is acting, she's a great actress. It's just her nature.
Well, Jack Nicholson once called her a cross between Bambi and a Buick. And I think that he really nails it. She's extremely strong, well-built, but she's got this incredibly fragile, innocent, shy part of herself as well. That's who she really is, I think, in real life.